So I don't think this has ever happened with any kind of Nintendo console before. I don't. I can only see this happening to the portable ones, the Wii U, and this. Um, but there have been some people who are reporting that they are getting dead pixels on their is it the Switch pad?
The screen on the Switch.
Yeah, which is that's not a good thing. Um, and I think this guy Jonathan Stanley said picked up my Nintendo Switch today, and it seems my system has a couple dead pixels. Uh, and then he's basically saying, does this qualify for a replacement? Which I guess, yeah, because that's no okay thing, especially like you you can kind of see him. I don't really know if it's like huge on there, just because I haven't seen like in real life what a Nintendo Switch console looks like, and I guess depending on how big the dead pixels are or like the area is, like it's something you can like it's fine. Um, However, when it comes to a brand new console that's supposed to be like your next generation of a console, you don't really want to have something like, hey, guess what? You can't see this portion of your screen. And there could be other people whose Switch screens have worse dead pixels, because I've seen a lot more people like popping up all over the internet saying that their Switches are also getting like dead pixels. Um, and it's just that's not a good thing.
And a dead pixel could be one of two things. It could just be it's just blacked out, or it just constantly is shining one color. Both are annoying.
Yes, very much. Especially if it's in a spot and where like dialogue goes, or where like you need to see because of like items or anything like that. Uh, Really, there's no reason why you should have a dead pixel on your screen, and it's just annoying just anywhere it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it really sucks that this happened, because I'm sure that Nintendo was like, this is all kinds of good. Our console is you know, only out for less than a week, and already problems with it.
Yeah. And Nintendo actually does have on their website an official statement about it. They said small numbers of stuck or dead pixels are a characteristic of LCD screens. These are normal and should not be considered a defect. Um, Here's the problem with that. When you compare Nintendo to other companies, let's just go through the list. So, Apple, for instance, they have a zero tolerance policy for dead pixels on the iPod or the iPhone. When you get up into the bigger screens, like for iPad and their MacBooks, that sort of thing, um, they basically have a policy that um, they can have there could be as many as 8 bright pixels or 10 dark pixels. So that's kind of big. But on the smaller screens where you have like not that many pixels as it is, they will replace the whole thing for you. Dell laptop and flat panel monitors are they say anything less than 6 dead pixels is acceptable, and then HP considers 5 either light or dark pixels to be 5 is the limit. If it goes above that, then they'll replace the unit for you. And then Samsung is kind of they just say the number of dead pixels, the location of the dead pixels, the color of the dead pixels, the size of the screen is what determines whether or not they'll replace it. But Nintendo is basically saying it doesn't matter how many there are on there. And this is a 720p screen, so it is not the highest resolution for a 6.1 inch screen, or however big the Switch screen is. The pixels are not the smallest. So even if you have like 1 or 2 on there, especially like a lot of the ones that I've seen where it's just a black one, it'll actually be 2 next to each other. So it's like a grouping of them. which is of course going to make it look like there's like a big hole in your display. Yeah, that's not good. I have a tablet that's like a 1080p screen, and I have a couple of dead pixels on it, but the pixel density is so thick that you can't notice that, you can't really see them unless you're looking for them. With a 720p screen or 1280 by 720 screen, those are going to stick out a lot. And like you said, if they're going to be like on items or text or something that's like you're constantly looking at, you're constantly going to see those pixels.
So it's it's kind of just making like the whole portable part of it just like it's going to be more of a pain than it is going to be just having it docked, which then kind of like gets rid of half of the like main like selling point of the Switch is you can take it anywhere. It's like, no, I can't because I can't see certain parts of the screen.
Yeah.
And it's very annoying.
Yeah, and I've owned, out of the portable, out of all the Nintendo systems that I've owned an original Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, several of those. I want to say I've had like 3 Game Boy Advances. The original 3DS, 3DS XL, new 3DS XL, Wii U. I've never had a single dead pixel on any of those screens. Ever. So why should they start now? It's a very now the screen itself is getting reviewed very well. It's like an IPS screen, meaning it has like fantastic viewing angles. You can turn it all the way and like have someone like sitting 2 people over from you and still be able to see what's on your screen. So that's great, but Nintendo should honestly, stick to quality. That's what they're known for with their hardware. And if it's a problem with the manufacturer making your screens, you should be demanding more from them. It's that simple.